on this computer. Actually, hold on a minute. Nope, I think we're good. Okay. All right. So we will go ahead and get started. Again, this is going to be like a 30-minute speed class, and I'm actually going to try and do this in like 20-25 minutes so that y'all can for sure have time for questions at the end and things like that. If you do have a question in the midst of what I'm talking about, definitely like raise your hand and get my attention. I think I'm going to leave y'all unmuted so that, again, I can hear you and don't have to worry about all of that. But so today, going to be talking about different ways you can use oils in the classroom, different issues that you can address, a little bit about why doTERRA, because there are so many different oil choices out there, and especially when you're going to be using oils on kids. This was a big deal for me with Hazen, my daughter. You've got to make sure that you're using good quality oils, because one, you're not going to get the effect that you're wanting in your class. And again, if you're using synthetic stuff, it's missing the entire point of going more natural, right? And then at the end, I do want to talk to you if you're ready to get started with oils. I do have a couple of ways to get started. Not a requirement for listening to this for those of y'all watching afterwards or for those of y'all now, but there are some really great ways that you can get started with oils and go ahead and start implementing this Are y'all still in trimesters? Yeah. Okay, I almost said semesters, but yay, I remember. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into this again. Feel free to ask questions and stop me, but one of the biggest ways, and probably the way that you're going to use the oils the most, is by diffusing. And this is something you can do every day. Couple reasons why you'd want to consider this. You can purify the air in your classroom, especially being in an old building. There's gunk and mold and who knows what that's circulating through the system. So this is a great way to just get rid of airborne germs and sicknesses that might be flowing around. If you've got kids that are currently sick and just breathing in your classroom, you can clean the air in your room. If you want to promote a specific type of environment, I would assume you would want to maybe promote like a calming environment.
Mr. Harold, please call the office as soon as possible. Mr. Harold, please call the office as soon as possible. Thank you.
A couple other reasons why you want to diffuse: reducing stress and affecting the mood of either yourself or your kids. So let me go back to purifying the air in your class. This is the easiest thing to do. You literally take your diffuser, put some tap water in there, and add a couple of drops of oil. I would probably say 4 to 6 drops. Turn it on. You can set it, depending on your diffuser, between 2 hours and like 8 or 10 hours. So you can have it literally running all day if you want to. The best oil as far as sickness is going to be On Guard. On Guard is doTERRA's protective blend. It kind of smells like Christmas or like fall to me. It's a mix of wild orange, clove, cinnamon. There's eucalyptus and rosemary, but this is going to be what's going to help boost your immune system, both for you and, again, your kids. I've had a couple of teachers that she's actually not able to use oils in her classroom anymore, just from the administration taking over and mixing that. But whenever she was able to diffuse, when sicknesses would go around, her classroom would be the only one that would not get sick. Were you passing that around?
Well, I've got the little On Guard beadlet things that I just keep in my purse, so you can smell what it's like.
Oh, good.
So they can at least smell the On Guard. But
yes.
I have On Guard at home. I don't have On Guard here yet. But
okay, that's totally fine. So yeah, On Guard is going to be the best to diffuse, and you can really think of diffusing 2 to 3 times a week in your classroom just to maintain that, just kind of that clean environment. You can diffuse it every day, especially, again, if something's going around or kids are coming in sick, just turn that on. You can also look to add 1 drop of Melaleuca and 1 drop of oregano. Hello.
hi.
So adding 1 drop of each of those here's the thing with oregano and melaleuca. Melaleuca is also known as tea tree oil, so you may know it by that name. But they act like a natural antibiotic. So really good to keep in mind when, again, there's sicknesses going around.
Misty, what does oregano smell like does it smell like oregano when I diffuse it? Because I have oregano, but I have not put it in my diffuser yet because that's not going to make my whole house smell like spaghetti.
So yes, yes, it will make it, it smells like oregano. That's why I'm saying if you're going to add it to your diffuser blend, only add literally 1 drop.
Okay.
The oils are so potent, and oregano especially is going to overpower a lot of other essential oils. But again, with its just anti-inflammatory, antiviral properties, it's so good to add into a diffuser. Let's see, moving on. So if you're wanting to kind of create a calming environment in your classroom, maybe you've got a lot of rambunctious kids, they're very hyper, or whatever word you want to describe. Lavender is a great oil that you can diffuse even just by itself. Again, 4 to 6 drops. Lavender also acts like a natural antihistamine. So if you suffer from allergies, or if you know a lot of your kids do, that'll help with that as well. Wild orange is also another great one. And research has actually shown that when you're inhaling wild orange, it actually does produce a calming and relaxing effect. You know, you kind of think wild orange might make them, you know, bounce off the walls. And for some kids it might. It just, everyone's, how they react to oils is very different. But for a lot of, again, the more hyperactive kids, when you're diffusing wild orange, it almost like it cancels out that hyperactivity. Does that make sense? So that's why it can kind of stimulate that calming environment. Balance blend, that is my favorite for stress and anxiety, but again, really good to diffuse for the kids too, to help them kind of calm down. And kind of moving on to another way you can use your diffuser is at test times. Why you would want to do this, again, reducing that stress, promoting focus with the kids. Again, research has shown that using oils can actually promote an environment for academic performance. So again, this is backed by research as well. So to promote that, peppermint is a really great one to help them feel alert, again, help them focus. Again, vetiver is another great essential oil, and research has shown that vetiver was, again, effective in promoting alertness and focus. If you have any kids that have ADHD or ADD issues, another research study, oh gosh, I may have to go back and quote this one, but I believe it said kids that inhaled it they inhaled vetiver 3 times a day and reduced their ADHD symptoms and issues. So I may have to, I'll probably have to go back and find
Vetiver, is that one vetiver, did you say?
Yeah, vetiver, VETIVER.
I don't have that one. Jill Harris loves that one. Guys, I've got some, I'll just kind of pass around ones that, these are all lavender, peppermint, tea tree or melaleuca, wild orange. So you can kind of smell those. I've got some other ones she hasn't talked about yet. But
Perfect, thank you.
anyway, keep going.
Yes, another really great one to diffuse at test times is rosemary. Rosemary is so good for brain health, cognitive function, again, focus. One of my favorite blends to diffuse when I'm working is actually rosemary, frankincense, which we'll talk about here in a second, and peppermint. So that's a good trio if you want to use that at test times. Again, frankincense, peppermint, and rosemary.
And here I have those too, so I'll add
Oh, yay, good. Yeah, so go ahead and pass those around. And another instance that you would want to use, I'm kind of calling this taking the edge off of your day. And 2 facets of this, if you're wanting to reduce stress or boost mood. You know, sometimes, well, I mean, I don't teach, so I can't speak for y'all, but I can imagine, you know, there are some days you come to work and teaching is the last thing that you want to do. It's the last place that you want to be. So maybe you need a bit of a mood booster. Maybe you've got kids that are coming in cranky for whatever reason. So oils that you can use to boost mood any citrus oil. Lemon, wild orange are kind of the two big ones. Great to diffuse and boost mood. Again, wild orange research has shown that this may promote an uplifting mood. I always joke in my classes, if you are smelling wild orange, try and have a bad thought about somebody. Now, you may actually be able to think bad of someone, but the point is, when you smell wild orange, it should make you smile. And again, to reduce stress, so a couple ones here. Frankincense is a very good oil to diffuse. Not only does it have a calming effect on our emotions, but it's, again, really good for focus. Lavender, balance blend that I talked about earlier, both of those are very good to reduce stress as well. And peppermint. With peppermint, research has actually showed that inhaling decreases feelings that intense tasks are mentally or physically taxing. That was a mouthful. Let's say whatever your project or assignment is, maybe you've got some kids that are just really overwhelmed. Oh my gosh. If you hear my dogs, I'm sorry. But if they're doing a specific task, you might notice that they feel overwhelmed. Maybe it's just too much for them in the moment, whether it's mentally or physically. Peppermint actually can help decrease those feelings of overwhelm, if that makes sense. Yeah, that is diffusing. Another thing I want to talk about, you can actually use your essential oils to clean your classrooms. Again, this is going to be huge. Why would you want to do this? Just decreasing the germs. Kids are touching the door handles. You can clean your desks with the essential oils, sinks, bathrooms, if you have those in your classrooms. So really a couple of key essential oils for this. On Guard again. On Guard is a huge heavy hitter when it comes to getting rid of germs. Getting rid of the flu, any type of viruses, you need On Guard. They actually, doTERRA did a research study with On Guard, 3 drops in a glass spray bottle of water. They ended up spraying a countertop, letting it just dry. And then they actually put germs on the countertop, and what they found was the germs could not even survive on a countertop with On Guard on it. So again, just how powerful. I think I heard that research study, and now I clean my entire house with On Guard. So another oil that you can think of is Melaleuca or tea tree oil. That is a very cleansing oil. You can combine that with lemon or wild orange to clean your surfaces with, and it's super easy to make a mixture. So you get a glass spray bottle, add 5 to 15 drops depending on the size of your spray bottle, fill it with water. You can add vinegar if you want to. I personally don't, because once I add vinegar, that's like all I smell. So it's just the oil and water for me. Shake it, spray it, wipe it, and you're good to go. Very good to have, again, when sicknesses are running rampant. So those are just a couple of ways you can think of using essential oils in the classroom. There are probably others that I did not mention, but I kind of want to switch gears and talk to you about why doTERRA. And I've gotten this a lot from other, definitely other teachers and schools that I've tried to talk to, and even just, it's not even that, people in general, they will tell me, but I've heard of kids being allergic to essential oils, or I'm afraid that my kids would be allergic to it. And here's where, again, where I talk to you about quality and why doTERRA. Okay, good. So it does matter where you get your oils from. And you know, I would say that statement is mostly true for other oil brands or just wherever you're getting your oils, and here's why. About 85% of the oils on the market have been adulterated in some form or fashion. And adulterated means they're diluted, they've got synthetics, they've got fillers, whatever they might be contaminated to. And this includes brands that you are seeing at Walmart. You're buying off of eBay and Amazon, TJ Maxx, Target. Gosh, probably gas stations have essential oils by now. I don't know, but most of what is on the market has been messed with in some form or fashion. And doTERRA, what I love about them is they are the only company that follows a standard called CPTG. This stands for Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. They've got an outside company that does this testing for them, so it really holds them accountable to that. And that standard just ensures that the oil you're getting has no fillers, there's no synthetics, there's no contamination. So when you get a bottle of lemon, it's literally just lemon that you're using. There's nothing else in that essential oil bottle. Also, the way that they source their oils, they chose to source all over the world to where the plants grow and thrive naturally. So if anyone's a wine drinker, you know, if you get wine from different parts of the world, some taste better, some taste not so great. It's kind of the same concept of the oils. But again, the way that they are sourced, the allergens that we would typically react to are not in the bottle. So you won't typically have an allergic reaction, or I kind of like to say like an EpiPen situation. You may have some skin sensitivity if you use the oil topically. Again, that's up to the individual. Just for like liability reasons, I would just not recommend letting the kids put oils on their skin. That's why I'm just really teaching on diffusing today. But I have had just a handful of people still be sensitive or have a reaction to an essential oil, but that is not the case for most people and most kids. So hope that kind of clears that up. One thing I do love about doTERRA is how concentrated the essential oils are. Again, this has to do with the sourcing and the manufacturing of the essential oil, but you don't have to use a lot of drops. You only need to use, again, 4 to 6 when you're diffusing. The small bottles in doTERRA, the 5 ml bottles, contain about 80 drops. So if you're, again, kind of thinking, well, if I'm diffusing, let's go on the, I don't know, let's go with 5, because that's easy math for me. If you're using 5 drops every single day, well, I can't do math, whatever, 5 going into 80, that's how many days you'll be able to use the oil on average. Math was never my friend in school, ever. So on the opposite side, the big bottles, the 15 ml bottles, have 250 drops in each bottle. So again, when you're talking about concentration, you don't have to use a ton at a time, which is really great. Makes these essential oils really cost effective. Okay, let me see time-wise. We're kind of winding down now. I did want to go ahead and just take a few minutes. What questions do y'all have? Do I need to go back over some information? What's kind of popping up for y'all? I just want to take a few minutes with this. And you can like popcorn it, whatever questions you got.
Misty, what about, okay, my students kind of like lemongrass, and I know that, what's lemongrass good for? Because my kids like the smell of that. Can that work for cleaning too, or whatever?
Oh yeah. So typically, the main role of lemongrass is more like connective tissue, joint issues, things like that, and circulation. But as far as like diffusing it, it's very calming to the emotions. For me, I love the smell of lemongrass. It's sweetness in a bottle. It's so good. So that might be why your kids like it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And I found out lemon eucalyptus is really strong. Like, you don't need very many drops of that.
Yes, figured the same thing. Yes, it does. Yeah, so the lemongrass, you can add that to like your cleaning solutions. Like you could do, you have to experiment to see how this would smell, but you could do like melaleuca and lemongrass. You could even do melaleuca and lemon eucalyptus. Again, lemon eucalyptus is pretty strong. Yeah, you can totally, like I said, experiment with both of those.
And I put a mix in my diffuser every day, just about, and it changes. It's not always the same. So I don't know. I've started using spearmint too. Is that because I like the smell of that. And some of my kids, when I was doing peppermint, that one I also have to be careful with because it's kind of stronger. Spearmint seems to be less, I don't know, doesn't overpower as much.
Yes, yeah, good. Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out. Yeah, so peppermint can, for some kids, it is really strong. Spearmint is a good option. So it has a lot of similar properties to peppermint. So spearmint you could use in place of peppermint for focus, for calming, things like that. So yes, absolutely.
I've heard peppermint keeps spiders away. Have you heard that one? And tea tree for the creepy crawlies?
Yes, yes, and yes. Those are both true. So yeah, peppermint is great for warding off spiders. Also good for mosquitoes. Well, not so much for flies for me, because flies, like whenever I would be outside and mowing and doing all that, flies would still get on me, but for sure spiders and mosquitoes. Oftentimes when the seasons change, like, well, right about now, I'll make a mix of peppermint and water and spray my door frames, my windowsills, just to help keep spiders and nasty bugs from getting in the house. So,
yay!
Yes.
I can do that.
Y'all have spiders?
Huh?
Yeah, y'all have spiders?
I don't want spiders.
And I do that but I still have occasional. So I'm like, would I have more? I'm assuming, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, that, and definitely, you have to keep on that, right?
Yeah.
You can't just spray peppermint and be one and done.
Yeah.
You have to continue doing that. But yes.
The tea tree oil, can you put that in your shampoos?
Yes, great question. So yes, because the tea tree is so cleansing, it's really good for cleansing surfaces and cleansing the skin. Good to use on, your scalp if you've got like dry scalp, or you want to make sure you get all of like your product residue off of your hair. Very good to add to your facial moisturizer too. Really good, again, cleansing the face, cleansing the skin, reducing appearance of acne, things like that. Good questions.
Is lavender good for that too? For your face? Or
yes. So lavender is good for skin as far as like moisturizing. It's very good, especially in the winter months when your skin is super dry. Like you put your moisturizer on anywhere on your body and it's like your skin sucks it up. And 5 minutes later, it's like you didn't put anything on. You can add a drop of lavender to your moisturizers and lotions. Yeah, totally fine for the face and for all over the body. Lavender is also really good for like, not that you get them now, but like sunburns, any kind of skin rash or irritation. Lavender is good for that too.
I know you talk about frankincense being the like king of oils or whatever. I think lavender is got lots and lots of uses too, because I use that with peppermint both to mix for headaches. Like when I get migraines or whatever, I put both of those together.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, lavender is one of those kind of all-purpose oils. I would say lavender, frankincense, and peppermint are like probably the most versatile essential oils because you can do so much of them. They have tons of different properties about them.
And copaiba.
Oh, go ahead.
And copaiba.
Oh, yes, and copaiba. I love copaiba.
I don't like how it smells as much, but it's good for lots of things.
Yes, yeah. That's one that I typically take internally for a lot of different issues. But we're narrowing, I can't talk. Winding down to the last few minutes. So just want to kind of wrap up, and we can stay after if y'all have questions. I'm good. My daughter's taking a nap, so I'm all good. But just want to take a few minutes and actually talk to you about how you can get started with essential oils. If that's something that you're ready to do today, that's great. If you need some time to think about it, that's great. If you just come in for the information, that's great too. So no pressure at all. But a couple ways you can get started with doTERRA. One is retail. No one hardly ever does this because it's literally nothing in it for you except the higher prices. The second way is with a wholesale membership. This is very much like Sam's Club or Costco. It's literally $35 and you get the cheaper pricing for an entire year. There's no obligations. You don't have to, you literally just order when you want. doTERRA does have an optional monthly ordering program called Loyalty Rewards. Jill can definitely attest to this. This is where you're getting points back off of your monthly purchases. You accumulate those points, you redeem it for free stuff. So you can grow your collection or get more of the products that you use all of the time. So there's that way. And then the final way is with starter kits. This is how I started with, sorry, that's my timer. This is how you can really get the most for your money is with these starter kits. A couple of things, they're priced lower than wholesale. They waive that $35 fee that I was talking about. Your membership is included. And again, you get more oil for your money. And I am really excited this week because, well, I'm excited and sad. Several of the starter kits are phasing out today, but we are getting a brand new set of enrollment kits that are going to be available tomorrow. And I just wanted to quickly highlight the two that are going to be phasing out today just because they're such a good foundation. And especially for the classroom, they include a lot of the oils that I talked about. So I wanted to talk with you about these. And you're really choosing between big and small bottles. First is the Family Essentials Kit. So this is going to include small bottles, again, the 80 drops per bottle of all the top 10 oils. So you're going to be getting your frankincense, your lemon, lavender, peppermint, the On Guard that I talked about, melaleuca, oregano, the beadlets that Jill has, those would come in that kit as well. This one does not come with a diffuser, but you can easily add that on. The kit itself is just $150. Again, that includes your membership, so takes out that $35. The other option is the Home Essentials Kit. So these are the big bottles, 250 drops. Again, all of the same essential oils, but this does come with a diffuser for free with how much you're saving. Yeah, so that is $275. So again, a little bit bigger of an investment, but with 250 drops per bottle, those bottles are going to last you for quite a while, and that diffuser comes with it. So that's what I really wanted to highlight today. Another special promo that I'm doing just for this month. If you come in with any starter kit, you're actually going to get a free body butter made by me. It's going to have frankincense, lavender, and myrrh. Really great for the dry skin in winter months. If you have any rashes or anything like that, I've been making this body butter for, oh gosh, over a year. I use it on my daughter. I use it for myself, and I personally love it. And you would get that for free from me. And really, that's it. That's a speed class in, I think, maybe like 32, 33 minutes. So like I said, I really appreciate y'all hopping in, just taking time out of literally the middle of your day at the end of a school day to come and listen. And again, I'll open this up for questions. I'll keep the recording going just because any questions that y'all have, other people will probably have those questions as well watching back. Ooh, it's not working. So again, I'll open this back up to questions. Anything else that's kind of popped up as I've been talking.
And I can answer questions too after, as you.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Jill's been an awesome customer. Again, she has the inside because she's had a doTERRA membership, a wholesale account for, well, I don't even know how long, but a while.
A little over a year, because it was Jill Harris's that she did at the beginning of last school year.
That's right. Yes, that's right.
That's when I got started, so.
Yeah. So she can definitely give you just kind of the inside look on what it's like to have a membership, especially that Loyalty Rewards program. And again, with these two kits, the Essentials and the Home Essentials, these are phasing out today. So if these are something that you want to jump on, you got to message me today and I will help you get started and get enrolled. with those two. Because after today, they are out.
And after we're done, I can show them quick some of that stuff on the website, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, if there aren't any more questions, let me stop the recording.